Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati. Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauri Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, so prayer was not audible. In between, prayer was not audible. Okay, so let me do the prayer fast, and thereafter we will start. Just 1 minute, Kirtan, and thereafter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. नमां विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्यत दिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा एवरीवन चलिए let's do kirtan for just 1 minute and thereafter we will start. Okay, very good. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Those who want to read may raise their hand. I see only 2 hands. Shweta, Hare Krishna, please start.
Hare Krishna. Chapter 77. The Deliverance of Shala. After talking with his charioteer, the son of Daruka, Pradyumna, could understand the real circumstances. Therefore, he refreshed himself by washing his mouth and hands, and after arming himself properly with bows and arrows, he asked his charioteer to take him near the place where Shiva commander-in-chief was standing. During the short absence of Pradyumna from the battlefield, Duman, Shal's commander-in-chief, had been taking over the positions of the soldiers of the Yadu dynasty. Appearing on the battlefield, Pradyumna immediately stopped him and, smiling, shot 8 arrows at him. With 4 arrows, he killed Duman's 4 horses, and with 1 arrow his chariot driver. With another arrow, he cut his bow in 2. With another, he cut his flag to pieces, and with the last, he severed his head from his head from his body. On the other fronts, heroes like Gard, Satiki and Samba were killing the soldiers of Shalv. The soldiers staying with Shalv in the airplane were also killed in the fighting and they fell into the ocean. Each party began to strike the opposite party very severely in a fierce, dangerous battle that continued for 27 days without stopping.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Just one thing. This is not severe. This is severely. Severe means in killing attitude, right? Sever. We say sever the head, right? So severing means detaching, killing, taking something very harshly. So we say severed ties with, right? Suppose I am not talking to you, I would say I have severed my ties with you. Yeah. So this is severely. Yeah, please. So this fighting was going on, right? Continue.
While the fighting was going on in the city of Dwarka, Krishna was staying at Indraprastha with the Pandavas and King Yudhishthira. This fighting with Shalva took place after the Rajasuya Yagna had been performed by King Yudhishthira and after the killing of Shishupal. When Lord Krishna understood that there was great danger in the city of Dwarka, he took permission from the elder members of the Pandava family, especially from his aunt Kunti Devi, and started immediately for Dwarka. Lord Krishna began to think that while he was staying in Hastinapur with Balram and after the killing of Shishupal, Shishupal's men must have attacked Dwarka. On reaching Dwarka, Lord Krishna saw that the whole city was greatly in danger. He placed Balramji in a strategic position for the protection of the city, and he himself asked his many charioteer Daruka to prepare to start. He said, Daruka, please immediately take me to where Shalv is staying. You may know that this Shalv is a very powerful, mysterious man. Don't fear him in the least. As soon as he got his orders from Lord Krishna, Daruka had him seated on the chariot and drove very quickly towards Shalv. The chariot of Lord Krishna was marked with a flag bearing the insignia of Garuda, and as soon as the soldiers and warriors of the Yadu dynasty saw the flag, they could understand that Lord Krishna was on the battlefield. By this time, almost all the soldiers of Shalv had been killed. But when Shalva saw that Krishna had come to the battlefield, he released a great, powerful weapon which flew through the sky with a roaring sound like a great meteor. It was so bright that the whole sky was lit up by its presence. But as soon as Lord Krishna appeared, he tore the great weapon into hundreds and thousands of pieces by releasing his own arrows. Lord Krishna struck Shalva with 16 arrows, and with showers of arrows he overpowered the airplane, just as the sun in a clear sky overpowers the whole sky by an unlimited number of molecules of sunshine. Shalva struck a severe blow to Krishna's left side, where the Lord carried his bow. Sarang and as a result the Sarang bow fell from Lord Krishna's hand. This dropping of the bow was indeed wonderful. Great personalities and demigods who were observing the fighting between Shalv and Krishna were most perturbed by this, and they exclaimed, Alas, alas.
Hare Krishna. So demigods were watching. Now, why would demigods watch? Yeah. So demigods were watching. Why would demigods watch? Demigods watch for only one thing. Uh, yeah. Demigods would watch only for one thing. Just one. Uh, mm. They want to glorify Krishna. Nothing else. They're not concerned about Sal. They are not concerned about this, that, anything. They have just one business in their mind. We would get an opportunity to glorify Krishna. Just think about this. Suppose you love your child, right? When are you most happy? Suppose you love your child. When are you most happy? Huh? Whenever your child does something good, a father is most happy, right? Now, what would the father do when his child does something really good? a father would just glorify his son. He knows that uh, 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 his son is not that capable. Here, Krishna is all capable, right? Krishna can do anything. Even when his son is not capable, the father would be very, very happy glorifying his son. Just imagine the happiness that demigods get when they glorify Krishna. Every time they come only to see one thing. Yes, Krishna has come. He would fight and he would win. Let me see Krishna winning. Yeah, so they would just wait for this one. Uh, yeah, uh, uh, demigods have arrived. Good. Let me continue from here. Salve thought that he had been victorious with the roaring sound. He addressed Lord Krishna as follows: "You rascal Krishna! You kidnapped Rukmani forcibly, even in our presence. You baffled my friend Shishupal and married Rukmani yourself. And in great assembly of King Yudhishthira, Rajsuya Yagna, when my friend Shishupal was a little absent-minded, you took the opportunity to kill him. Everyone thinks that you are a great fighter and no one can conquer you. So now you will have to prove your strength. I think that if you stand before me any longer with my sharp arrows, I shall send you to the place where from you will never return." Hmm. Actually, this Shalva is a bit confused person. We should be very compassionate to uh, uh, little character. Yeah, please understand. Now, what is he saying? Uh, actually, we should be very compassionate. Uh, look at his statement. Uh, he is very correct in saying this, but he did not understand what he is saying. Yeah, uh, poor guy. He did not understand. He says, "I shall send you to the place where from you will never return." Uh, send you to the place from where you will never return. He just did not know one thing, except that he knew everything. He did not know that Krishna is in everyone's heart. Krishna is in everywhere. From Krishna comes this material and spiritual world as well. He did not know this little fact. Rest he knew, right? So he would never return. What do you mean by never return? He's always present, right? Poor child. He did not know this fact. We should be compassionate towards him. Do not make fun of Shal. No one would make fun of Shal now. Uh, Demons deride Krishna this way. Demons would call Krishna names. Demons would threaten Krishna as if they would win. Uh, uh, in fact, there's one. I always quote this. What I talk with someone or the other. I was just having chat with someone. I mean, rest is all fine, but uh, uh, when we get into this attitude that no one can do this, please try and understand, or please write that in a frame in front of somewhere around you. Yeah, frame this and put it across your bed or maybe study table or anywhere. Whenever we would say no one can do this, just think for once, have you considered Krishna? If not, you too are acting like a demon. These are demoniac qualities. Demons would deride Krishna. Demons would say Krishna is not powerful. Demons would say you cannot do. A devotee would always depend upon Krishna. Yes, I want that, but only if Krishna allows me to have. A devotee would think this way. Yeah, like Indra. Indra wants his kingdom back, right? Whenever any asura takes away his kingdom, many asuras came and took away his kingdom. Indra wants his kingdom back, but again and again, one thing was common. He wants only if Krishna allows him to have it. Dhruv did not wanted to have that Dhruv Loka, but only because Krishna wanted to have him, he wants to have, right? So similarly, if we have this attitude that I want to enjoy, I want to have, irrespective of whatever may happen, please try and understand this is demoniac quality. We all should be very much wary of this thing, and it's not like only you have it or only I have it, only a few have it. All our lives we have been told that this is something that cannot be taken away from anyone. This is just demoniac. Any day Krishna wants to take that away, that thing, that person, that object, that opulence away, no one can stop. Not for a fraction of second you can stop. Yeah. So Sal was only this much ignorant. Yeah, poor child. Why think wrong about him? Demon, a big demon. Yeah, challenging Krishna, threatening Krishna as if he would win. And even if he wins, suppose I am a demon. No, I should not be putting me. It does not sound proper when I look from your perspective. Suppose anyone, a demon calls, threatens Krishna, right? This Jarasangha once defeated Krishna, right? It was not actually defeat. Krishna just um, uh, ran away from war. Yeah. So is it? Jarasangha would think. Last chapter we were seeing, na? Jarasangha would think, I can defeat you any day. Even when Krishna is defeated, we should know whether Krishna is happy with this defeat or not. When Yashoda Maiya defeats Krishna, Krishna is very happy. When gopis defeat Krishna, Krishna is very happy. When Radharani Maharani defeats Krishna, Krishna is very happy. When anyone surrenders to Krishna and defeats Krishna, Krishna is very happy. When Advaita Acharya calls Krishna, Krishna comes down. But when demons think that they can subjugate Krishna, they can defeat Krishna, that's the difference. A devotee and demon may look like doing the same thing, yeah, but they would be doing entirely different things. A devotee would always be surrendered onto Krishna. A demon would never be surrendered onto Krishna. That's the difference. A demon would never be surrendered. Yeah. And we should do each and everything, even defeating Krishna, even playing with Krishna, even having fun, doing anything with Krishna. We should be doing only for his pleasure, not for our pleasure. I think that this is good, right? Therefore, I would do it. Or this would make me happy, so I would do it. Never do it that way. Never do it. We must serve senses of Krishna. We must make Krishna happy. That should be our attitude. Krishna should be our prime focus and only object of love, right? Through everyone, every love that we shower, we love only Krishna, no one else. Yes. Continuing. To this, Krishna replied, "Foolish Salva, you are talking nonsensically. You do not know that the moment of death is already upon your head. Actual heroes do not talk much. They prove their prowess by practical exhibition of chivalrous activities." After saying this, Lord Krishna, in great anger, struck Salva on the collarbone with his club so severely that Salva began to vomit blood and tremble as if he were going to collapse from severe cold. Before Krishna was able to strike him again, however, Sal became invisible by his mystic power. Now tell me one thing. Uh, why is Krishna saying all these things? Actual heroes do not talk much. Why is Krishna trying to invigorate, uh, make this one Salve excited, or ask him to fight? Uh, why is Krishna asking him to fight? Krishna could easily kill him. Yes. Why? Actually, there's very deep reasoning behind this. Why Krishna is asking him to fight? Yes. No one? Can anyone answer? Please unmute and answer. Why is Krishna asking Salve to fight? There's some very strong reason behind this. Everyone is unmuted, I believe. Yeah. There's some very strong reason. Yeah. Can someone please tell? No? It goes back to Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that we have to do our prescribed duty. Now, Salva is a warrior, is a fighter, is a Kshatriya. For fighter, for Kshatriya, he's on the wrong side. He's doing all the demoniac things. Now, Krishna is saying, at least you do your prescribed duty. If you are doing your prescribed duty, then definitely when you are facing me, you are doing demoniac act, you would be punished. But by doing this prescribed duty, you would be able to elevate yourself. So Krishna is asking, okay, come on, fight. Do not talk. Yeah, Krishna could have killed him, but no, Krishna wanted him to fight. Yeah. You must be remembering chapter 2, Krishna says to Arjuna that if you die while fighting, that too is not bad. You get heavenly kingdom. Yes. So Krishna wanted Salva to elevate. Krishna is very compassionate father. He wants each and everyone to elevate. Hare Krishna. Pragya Mataji, please continue. Within a few moments. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, okay.
From where we
within a few moments.
Okay. Within a few moments, a mysterious unknown man came before Lord Krishna. Crying loudly, he bowed down at the Lord's lotus feet and said to him, "Since you are the most beloved son of your father, Vasudev, your mother Devaki has sent me to inform you of the unfortunate news that Salva has arrested your father and taken him away by force. Just as A butcher mercilessly takes away an animal. When Lord Krishna heard this unfortunate news from the unknown man, he at first became most per- perturbed, just like an ordinary human being. His face showed signs of grief, and he began to cry in a piteous tone. How could that happen? My brother Lord Balram is there, and it is impossible for anyone to conquer Balramji. He is in charge of Dwarka city, and I know he is always alert. How could Sarva possibly enter the city and arrest my father in that way? Whatever Salva may be, his power is limited. So how could it be possible that he has conquered the strength of Balramji and taken away my father, arresting him as described by this man? Alas, destiny is after all very powerful. While Sri Krishna was thinking like this, Salva brought before him in custody a man exactly resembling Vasudeva. His father,
Vasudev.
Vasudev, his father,
Vasudev.
Vasudev, his father. These were all creations of the mystic power of Salva. Salva addressed Krishna. You rascal Krishna, look, this is your father who has begotten you, and by whose mercy you are still living. Now just see how I kill your father. If you have the if you have any strength, try to save him. The mystic juggler Salva, speaking in this way before Lord Krishna, immediately cut off the head of the false Vasudev. Then, without hesitation, he took away the dead body and got into his airplane. Lord Krishna is the self-sufficient supreme personality of Godhead, yet because he was playing the role of a human being, he became very depressed for a moment, as if he had actually lost his father. But at the at the next moment, he could understand that the arrest and killing of his father was uh, demonstrations of mystic power, which Salva had learned from the demon Maya. Coming to his right consciousness, he could see that there was no messenger and no head of his father, but that Salva had left in his airplane, which was flying in the sky. He then began to think of slaying Salva.
Hare
Krishna's
Krishna.
reaction.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Rashi
Krishna.
Mataji. Rashi Mataji
Hare
audible.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Krishna's reaction is a controversial point among great authorities and saintly persons. How could Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all power and knowledge, be bewildered in such a way? Lamentation, aggrievement, and bewilderment, and characteristics of conditional souls. But how can such things affect the person of the Supreme, who is the full of knowledge, power, and all opulence? Actually, it is not at all possible that Lord Krishna was by misled by the mystic jugglery of Salva. He was displaying his pastime in playing the role of a human being. Great saintly persons and sages who are engaged in the devotional service of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and who have thus achieved the greatest perfection of self-realization have transcended the bewilderments of the bodily concept of life. Lord Krishna is the ultimate goal of life for such saintly person. How then could Krishna have been bewildered by the mystic jugglery of Salva? The conclusion is that Krishna's bewilderment was another opulence of his supreme personality. When Salva thought that Krishna had been bewildered by his mystic representations.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We would continue. We would continue this paragraph, but before that, we need to understand. Look, we should not have this attitude that we can understand Krishna or his acts. We can never understand anything about Krishna. That should be our attitude. We should have this attitude that we can never ever understand about Krishna. We are not qualified to understand about Krishna. Now, if you start to think that way, then you would think correctly. Because there would be a lot of times when Krishna himself would display such characters. Like when you would be understanding the Damodar Leela, when Krishna would be tied by Yashoda Maiya. For a minute, you would think, Krishna has been captured. Krishna has been defeated. But is Krishna defeated? When you, and this is really silly, funny, and extremely objectionable at the same time. Extremely objectionable. When Gandhari would curse Krishna, and you would see serial, TV serial, Gandhari cursing Krishna, Krishna, When you would see Gandhari cursing Krishna, and he would understand it only from these TV serial people perspective, then you would never understand about Krishna. In fact, you would be understanding wrong things about Krishna. So, conclusion is that we can never understand about Krishna from our own mind. Whatever mind we have got, we would never be able to understand about Krishna with this mind. So how can we understand about Krishna then? If we cannot understand from our own minds, then how can we understand about Krishna? Very important question. How can we? Very simple answer. By surrenderance. Krishna says that we can understand this from Guru Shishya Parampara. Krishna says that we can understand this by surrendering on to Krishna's words. So if anyone surrenders on to Krishna's word, then he would be able to understand. Krishna says one thing very, very clearly: demons do not understand me. So if we are not acting demoniacally, then we can understand about Krishna. Yeah, else we would be puzzled in this Krishna's. Yesterday we were reading Bhagavatam, and again the word was coming, achintaniya. Right? Again and again the word was coming. This is achintaniya. Achintaniya is something which is unthinkable. Yeah, so we would be puzzled by this unthinkable attitude of Krishna. Yes, Mataji, please continue. When Salva.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. When Salva thought that Krishna had been bewildered by his mystic representations, he became encouraged and began to attack the Lord with greater strength and energy by showering volleys of arrows upon him. But the enthusiasm of Salva can be compared to the speedy march of moths into a fire. Lord Krishna, by hurling his arrows with unfathomable strength, injured Salva, whose armor, bow, and jeweled helmet all scattered in pieces with a scratching blow from Krishna's club. Salva's wonderful airplane burst into pieces and fell into the sea. Salva was very carefully Salva was very careful, and instead of crashing with the airplane, he managed to jump onto the land. He again rushed toward Lord Krishna. When Salva ran swiftly to attack Krishna with his club, Lord Krishna cut off his hand, which fell to the ground with the club. Finally, deciding to kill him, the Lord
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Mataji, you are reading again. Deciding. Okay, okay,
finally
okay. Let me continue.
finally decided.
Yeah.
May I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please. Please
Finally,
read. Please see screen clearly.
yes, Prabhuji. Finally, deciding to kill him, the Lord took up his wonderful disc, which shone like the brilliant sun at the time of the dissolution of the material creation. When Lord Sri Krishna stood up with his disc to kill Salva, he appeared just like a mountain with the red sun rising over it. Lord Krishna then cut off Salva's head, and the head, with its earrings and helmet, fell to the ground. Salva was thus killed in the same way that Vratasura was killed by Indra, the king of heaven. When Salva was killed, all his soldiers and followers cried, "Alas, alas!" While Salva's men were thus crying, the demigods from the heavenly planet showered flowers on Krishna and announced the victory by beating drums and blowing bugles. At that very moment, other friends of Shishupala, such as Dantavakra, appeared on the scene to fight with Krishna, to avenge the death of Shishupala and others. When Dantavakra appeared before Lord Krishna, he was extremely angry. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 77th chapter of Krishna, the deliverance of Shishupala. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So two things were happening simultaneously. One, network was bad. Second, you were not reading Mataji properly for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so what happened? One very important thing, what we talked about just came once again. What we talked in this class came once again. Now, let me start from here. Yes. Lord Krishna then cut off Sal's head, and the head with his earrings and helmet fell to the ground. Sal was thus killed in the same way Vritasura was killed by Indra, the king of heaven. Okay. So Krishna does something very, very amazing. Krishna does something very amazing. Indra did similar thing in the past, correct? Correct? So what we should do, we should think about Indra and glorify Indra, and we should glorify Krishna as well. Correct? Correct? We should glorify Krishna because Krishna killed Salva. And now we should glorify Indra as well. Correct? So this is how we should think that Krishna is important, but demigods too are equally important. Correct? Demigods too are equally important, isn't it? Yes. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yeah. but we should not know Indra Dev independent of Krishna. I'm really very happy. That is what I wanted to hear. When I was saying correct, I wanted someone to say, stop this nonsense. I was saying Krishna, and I was equating Krishna with demigods. And I was saying Krishna is, demigods are equally important as Krishna. This is rubbish logic. Actually, when we see uh, something like serials, when we see non-devotees appreciating Krishna, they would do it this way. This is the difference. Why you should be hearing about Krishna from devotees only. Because when here it is written that Indra killed Vrittasura, the same way Krishna killed Salva. Now a devotee would see it this way. Indra is getting all powers from Krishna. Now devotees in turn act like Krishna because they are getting powers, they are getting intelligence, they are getting strength, they are getting everything from Krishna. And they are in direct connection with Krishna, so they would do things in similar way. Yeah. Independent of Krishna, they would not know who Indra is. Who is Indra? Who is Indra? I don't know. Independent of Krishna, they would not know anyone. Independent of Krishna, they would not see anyone. That's the difference between a demon and a person with divine qualities. Yeah, so very important. When we see Krishna getting equated with any demigod, we should understand that demigod is getting power again from Krishna, and demigod are acting like a true devotees, like a pure devotees, and pure devotees act just like Krishna. But pure devotees are devotees only when they are dependent upon Krishna. When they are independent, they are not, we do not know them. Yeah. So I know each one of you because you are devotees of Krishna. Suppose you say that I do not know Krishna, then what would I say? I do not know you. Who are you? I do not know you. Yeah. In fact, that should be our attitude. Please, sorry for being so selfish, but we should be selfish. Please understand, we should never have non-devotee association. At times we may be having, but we should always avoid, right? Slowly and slowly we should reject non-devotee association. Non-devotee association is like lighting fire, right? It would definitely kill us. The only question is when. Yeah. So when we are connected with Krishna, we would purify. When we are disconnected with Krishna, we would get bad. Yeah. So yes, Krishna killed Salva, right? Krishna plays with demons, right? We see this very often. Krishna plays with each and every demon. Now, it is for many things, right? Uh, uh, Here, Krishna wanted you to understand that even when you see most unfortunate thing, right? Krishna was seeing most unfortunate thing. His father getting killed in front of himself, right? Krishna was seeing that, although it was not his father, it was just a creation of the energy of Salva, right? A false creation. But we should always have a very calm mind when we are devotees of Krishna. We should be fully surrendered down to Krishna, and we should know that Krishna would save us. Whatever may happen, Krishna would save us. Krishna would not do anything wrong. Krishna would never do anything wrong to us. Never. He loves us the most. How can he do anything wrong? Yeah. So that is how we conclude chapter 79. Moving on to chapter 80. 77th. Moving on to chapter 78. So this is Dantavakra, Shishupal and Dantavakra, Jai Vijay. Okay. So the killing of Dantavakra. Let me start. Chapter 78, the killing of Dantavakra, Viduratha, and Roma Harshana. After the demise of Shishupal, Salva, and Pondruka, a foolish demoniac king of the name Dantavakra wanted to kill Krishna to avenge the death of his friend Salva. Right? Look at this. First, it was Shishupal, then Salva, then Dantavakra. Shishupal and Dantavakra, both are connected. Yeah. So it was Shishupal. Salva wanted to avenge death of Shishupal. Now Salva is killed, and Dantavakra wanted to avenge death of Salva. So Dantavakra wanted to kill Krishna to avenge the death of his friend Salva. He became so agitated that he appeared on the battlefield without the proper arms and ammunition and without even a chariot. His only weapon was his great anger, which was red hot. He forgot. Again, he's misguided. Poor child. We should be compassionate. Why we should be compassionate? He thought that anger is his weapon. No one told him. Someone should have told him Bhagavad Gita. Lust, anger, and greed are pathway to hell. Poor Dantavakra. He has been cheated. Had he been told Bhagavad Gita that lust, anger, and greed are pathway to hell, he would have been saved. Poor Dantavakra. Again a demon. His only weapon was his great anger, which was red hot. He carried only the club in his hand, but he was so powerful that when he moved, everyone felt the earth tremble. When Lord Krishna saw him approaching in a very heroic mood, he immediately got down from his chariot, for it was the rule of military etiquette that fighting should take place only between two equals. Knowing that Dantavakra was alone and armed with only club, Lord Krishna responded similarly and prepared himself by taking the club in his hand. When Krishna appeared before him, Dantavakra's heroic march was immediately stopped, just as the great furious wave of ocean are stopped by the beach. At the time, Dantavakra, who was the king of Karusha, stood firmly with his club and spoke to Lord Krishna as follows: "It is a great pleasure and fortunate opportunity, Krishna, that we are seeing each other face to face. My dear Krishna, after all, you are my maternal cousin, and I should not kill you in this way, but unfortunately, you have committed a great mistake by killing my great friend Salva. Moreover, you are not satisfied by killing my friend. I know that you want to kill me also. Because of your determination, I must kill you by tearing you to pieces with my club. Krishna, although you are my relative, you are foolish. You are our greatest enemy. So I must kill you today, just as the person removes the boil on his body by a surgical operation. I am always very much obliged to my friends, and I therefore consider my indebted to my dear friend Salva. I can liquidate my indebtedness to him only by killing you." Yeah. Hare Krishna. Anshika.
Hare Krishna. As the caretaker of an elephant tries to control the animal by striking it with his trident, Dantavakra tried to control Krishna simply by speaking strong words. After finishing his vituperation, he struck Krishna on the head with his club and made a roaring sound like a lion. But Krishna, although struck strongly by the club of Dantavakra, he did not move even an inch, nor did he feel any pain. Taking his Kaumodaki club and moving very skillfully, Krishna struck Dantavakra's chest so fiercely that
Fiercely.
Dantavakra's heart split in twain. As a result, Dantavakra began to vomit blood. His hair scattered hair and he fell to the ground. Spreading his hands and legs within only a few moments, all that remained on Dantavakra was a dead body on the ground. After the death of Dantavakra, just as the time of Shishupala's death, in the presence of all persons standing there, a small particle of spiritual effulgence came out of the demon's body and very wonderfully merged into the body of Lord Krishna. Dantavakra had a brother named Viduratha, who was overwhelmed with grief at Dantavakra's death. Out of grief and anger, Viduratha was breathing very heavily, and just to avenge the death of his brother, he appeared before Lord Krishna with a sword and a shield in his hands. He wanted to kill Krishna immediately. When Lord Krishna understood that Viduratha was looking for the opportunity to strike him with his sword, he employed his Sudarshana Chakra, his razor sharp disc, and without delay cut off Viduratha's head with his helmet and earrings. In this way, after killing Shalva and destroying his wonderful airplane, and then killing Dantavakra and Viduratha, Lord Krishna at last entered his city Dwarka. He would not have been seen, he would not have been possible for anyone but Krishna to kill these great heroes. And therefore, all the demigods from heaven and the human beings on the surface of the globe were glorifying him. Great sages and ascetics, the,
Ascetic.
the denizens of the denizens of the Siddha and Gandharva planets, the denizens known as Vidyadharas, Vasuki, and the Mahagnas, the beautiful angels, the inhabitants of Pitraloka,
Mahanagas.
Mahanagas, the beautiful angels, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, the Yakas, and the Kinnaras, and the
Please wait. Let me read all these things. Vidyadhara, Vasuki, Mahanagas, beautiful angel, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, Yakshasas, Kinnaras, and Charanas. Yeah, please continue.
all showered flowers upon him and sang songs of his victory in great jubilation. Decorating the entire city very festively, the citizens of Dwarka held a great celebration, and when Lord Krishna passed through the city, all the members of the Vrishni dynasty and the heroes of the Yadu dynasty followed him with great respect. These are some of the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna, the master of all mystic power and the lord of all cosmic manifestation. Those who are fools, who are like animals, sometimes think that Krishna is defeated, but factually he is the supreme personality of Godhead and no one can defeat him. He always
Hare
remains.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, please note this for Adi. Yeah, those who are fools who act like animals sometimes think that Krishna is defeated, but factually he is the supreme personality of God and no one can defeat him. He always actually remains victorious over everyone. He alone is God and all others are his subservient order carriers. So everyone, it is not said that uh, elevated personality or demoniac personality or satoguni, rajoguni, tamoguni, which one? Everyone, without exception. everyone is order carrier of Krishna. Krishna is giving them. Krishna is giving personally giving him or her order, right? And he carries out the order. That is the role of each and everyone with respect to Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Please continue one more paragraph.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please continue.
Okay. Yeah. Shweta. Hare Krishna. Please continue one paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Once upon a time, Lord Balrama heard that an arrangement was being made for a fight between the two rival parties in the Kuru dynasty, one headed by Duryodhana and the other by the Pandavas. He did not like the idea and he tried to act as a mediator to stop the fighting. Finding it impossible and not wishing to take an active part on behalf of either party, he left Dwarka on the plea of visiting various holy places of pilgrimage. He first of all visited the place of pilgrimage known as Prabhas Kshetra. He took his bath there and he pacified the local Brahmanas and offered oblations to the demigods, pitas, great sages, and people in general, in accordance with Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. That is the Vedic method of visiting holy places. After this, accompanied by some respectable Brahmanas, he decided to visit different places on the bank of the river Saraswati. He gradually visited such places as Prithudaka, Bindusar, Tritakup, Sudarshan Tirtha, Vishal Tirth, Brahma Tirth, and Chakra Tirtha. Besides these, he also visited all the holy places on the bank of the Saraswati river running towards the east. After this, he visited all the principal holy places on the bank of the Yamuna and on the bank of the Ganges. Thus, he gradually came to the holy place known as Naimisharanya.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, we would continue from here next time around. In fact, we would read from maybe this paragraph in this way. Else we would not be able to connect. Yeah, in this way we would decide. Okay, very small. We will continue next. Those who have any doubt, any problem, any issues, they may ask. Very good. If you have any doubt, they may raise their hand, or we would do Vaishnava Pranam Mantra. Is the chat for everyone? Yeah. Yes. No. Okay. Vaishnava Pranam Mantra. Anshika, Hare Krishna. Please continue.
Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Anant Koti Vaishnava ki Divine Grishla Prabhupada ki Bhagavad Gita ki Srimad Bhagavatam ki सभी भक्तों की हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा everyone. So yeah, anyone has any question? Anyone has any question? मुझे कष्ट आ रहे हैं, मुझे कष्ट नहीं आ रहे हैं, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? मुझे कष्ट नहीं आ रहे हैं, ये क्या मतलब है? कौन से कष्ट नहीं आ रहे? भौतिक कष्ट नहीं आ रहे, वहाँ पे कष्ट नहीं आ रहा है, क्या नहीं आ रहा है? भक्ति में कष्ट नहीं आ रहा है। हाँ तो आपने डिवोटी का संग किया होगा, उसलिए कष्ट नहीं आ रहा है। देखिए एक बात जानिए, because it is English class, let me answer that in English. Please understand one thing. When we are not getting perturbed while doing bhakti, please try and understand we are just like one of these demons who are standing against Krishna. We did similar thing. We opposed Krishna and came to this world, right? Let me answer that question. So we opposed Krishna and came back to this world. Now please try and understand, when we are not facing any problem in this world in doing bhakti, it is not because of you. Ideally, you revolted against Krishna, so you should be getting troubled in this world. When you are doing bhakti and you are able to do it, that is because of someone else, not you, someone else. Who is that someone? Someone is holding your hand and making you do bhakti. Yeah. That someone is Krishna's ahetuki kripa, Guru's ahetuki kripa, Vaishnav's ahetuki kripa. Yeah. Now, there's one thing that I wanted to tell. Many a times I want to say this, but I often do not say. Many a times you all do a lot of amazing things. In fact, uh, uh, when you talk of reading, any one of you who are reading right now, they must have found in themselves a very significant change in how they used to read and how they are reading right now. But again, now you are being scolded. Look, I'm scolding you for two reasons. One, when you are uh, not concentrating. Look, we all have inabilities, and we should be okay with it. I would never scold you for your inabilities. Whatever inability you have, suppose I am blind and someone scolds me that I'm not reading. Uh, he may or may not scold, but I cannot help that cause, right? So one, I scold you only because of two reasons. One, because I see that uh, you are not concentrating, not because of any inability. And two, because I want you to improve. Whatever you are, I know that you have improved thus far, and I know that you can improve even further. What should I do? Should I accept a status quo? Should I accept this fact that you would not improve? Should I accept? I'm for one person who would never accept. If I accept the fallen position, I would never rise. Yeah. So we should never accept fallen position. Yeah, I am fallen right now. That is correct. But I would never accept this position. This is not who I am. Never accept a fallen position. There could not be a better motivational quote than this one. Never accept a fallen position. When you go down, never accept it. Deny it. Whatever it is, I am not accepting this. Howsoever difficult it may be, I am not accepting this. We should never accept a fallen position. Never. Else we would be demon. We would be demonic. Because what happens now? It's very simple. Once you start doing wrong things and you start accepting things, okay, only this has happened, only this much, only this much. When you accept it, then you get this ability to do even more bad. Every time you would be more bad, more bad, and actually you are walking on the path of being a demon rather than being being someone of a divine quality. So good. Be ready to be scolded. Can't help. There's no escape. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyone has any other question? No question. Good. Yeah. Scolding until be ready. You would be scolded even more. You should be happy. Last time around, I was scolded less. Now I would be scolded even more. Good. That's all. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. We would be starting 8 p.m. Okay. The problem is with this one. Okay. We would be starting 8 p.m. With this one. 9 p.m. with Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We would be sending a lot of videos, but again, laptop is very fragile. My laptop is like 2-year baby. It is crying every other moment. It is crying. Let's see. But do not worry. Videos would come. 2 videos, 3 videos definitely would come today. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.